Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome. It is time for the season finale of Season 2 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship, and we are live from the absolutely iconic streets of Long Beach in America. There's close walls, there's drama, and just enough action to get us through this race. It's going to be absolutely scintillating and nothing short of that whatsoever. Fraught with danger and drama at every single step of the way. I am Tim Cox. Got Lewis Ward in the virtual production trailer. Now, as always, joined by Aaron Smith. Aaron, well, I can't believe it. Season is nearly done and dusted. We're moments away from getting things kick-started with qualifying, and what a season it's been, and what a way to end it. What a place.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting. We've been here for season finales many times in previous seasons. I mean, F3 being one of the bigger ones. I think we've been here a few times in GTs for the final round. There's something about this track. The last round is so fitting. It's a good way for these drivers to end off the season. And, you know, the Pro Championship is not as close as it was, in the mid stages of the season, but that AM Championship is still very much up for grabs. And we've seen how chaotic these guys have been throughout the whole season, and I don't think today is going to be any different.
No, I completely agree with you, and it's like changed the format as well this evening. We've got two races rather than the usual heat formats, but you mentioned those standings, Aaron. Let's just take a quick look through them. And Bergson has pretty much got hold of it tonight, bar a complete utter disappointment of a round, and with it due to his drop score taking into account being so strong versus what Zambra's is. So, pretty much. Let's not commentator curse it. Bergson leading by a country mile over Zambra, who's well ahead of Young. And then this where it gets a bit tighter. More Schnabel and Kaibach are equal on points, so there we have no Kaibach with us this evening, so Schnabel will finish in front of him with Heron, Caponio, Zemscher and Strauss running at the top 10. Let's have a look across into the AM Championship. Laritzen, he's only 1 point ahead of Minot coming into this final round, and we have both of them with us. That was going to come right down to the wire. Garrett Spence isn't with us, sadly, the American. Always love to see him. And also his post-race memes that he generates about this series, always entertaining. Worth following him on Twitter, that's for certain. But, it's a showdown, isn't it? Laritzen versus Minot. Who's going to take the championship here at Long Beach? And across, well, actually, it's not doing everyone a disservice. Of course, we've got Chris Kirk, Russell, Walsh, Toff, Clist, and Poggy, with Jason Wilkerson running up that top 10 into the team's championships. While TNT, they've just, well, walked away with this at a very early stage, and that's just continued to grow and grow and grow. Consistent performances from the number 1 outfit with Bergerson and Daniel Lamore. ScoreX, they're second and comfortably with Alcantech in third, then the second TNT car team in fourth with No Limits Geeks Energy. Bread Barley, a team driver racing kart, Future Volumes, and R Sports completing that top 10. Qualifying. Well, that's just underway. The usual. Everyone out on track. Open quali. And of course, 10 minutes in which to do it. So, the drivers only going to have, what, 7 laps, 8 laps, depending on how they feel this one, Aaron? I mean, what do you do? Do you go light and keep going out, you know, but likewise, you're not going to get as many chances? Or do you fuel up for the session and go long on this one?
I'd say you just got to fill up and go all the way to the end. It's quite short a lap round here, but it is also a fairly short qualifying, and I don't think tyre wear is going to be too big of a factor. These F4 cars, their tyres can last a fairly long while without dropping too far off the pace, so I think we're going to see most drivers filling up towards just the whole session. We're not really going to have too many drivers following, I don't think, as well. The slipstream round, of course, is not worth following another car for. It's, I'd say maybe a tenth or two if you can get it right. And TNT, they always want to get it right the most, and they're following each other as Strauss goes very deep into the final corner. That's going to be very awkward. Oh my word. And it's ruined 3 people's laps.
4, I think, as well. Didn't quite catch it. It was following them through, but while all tripping up over one another. Not what you want to see at this stage of qualifying. About halfway through, in fact. The 62 from times that we've had in so far, Strauss leads. He's picked up that first place at the moment over a Moore, Heron, Minot, being the top qualifier in AM over. Oh, well, there you go. There's the commentator on Minot finding the wall down at turn 1. Likewise, there's Chris Kirk as well.
I mean,
get over and done with that at the moment. That's what I say. You know, you don't want to be doing it in the race. Just sort it out now.
Yeah, I mean, if this is anything, you know, for the race, then, I mean, it's qualifying, and these guys are, I mean, I'm pretty sure we saw about half the grid get in some kind of incident as I accidentally left my voice chat on, and the people in game chat are going absolutely crazy right now. Understandably, it's pretty chaotic out there, and, well, it seems like we're going to have just whoever can set a decent enough lap is going to get a good result, as these gaps, it's a short lap. They should not be this big already. We're 5 minutes in. This is definitely the most interesting session we've had.
With the exception of the difference between Strauss and Namor, only 5 thousandths of a second separating those two right now. You see Strauss, that interesting line there, just going in as deep as possible to get the longest possible run out of the final turn, the hairpin, and achieve the maximum amount of speed possible. Entering into turn 1, we're on board with him right now, onto the brakes, trying to get as wide as you possibly can, and then, well, it's just all about getting as close to those walls as you dare.
Yeah, you have to ride right on the edge around this track. You can actually use most of the curbs on this track, unlike in real life, where it's half and half. You can use some of the curbs, others will just send you straight into a wall. But yeah, these F4 cars can handle these curbs a lot better than you might see IndyCar or some other Formula cars do it, as we're going to see in here. This corner, if you did that line in real life, you would be sent into a wall. That inside is so bumpy, but luckily on this game, it's pretty smooth, and it can gain you around a tenth or two if you get it spot on. Coming around the final sector now, this is pretty tricky. It's very, very low speed. You got to get this section right, line yourself up well for the hairpin, and he's actually going to bail on this lap and go for another one.
Interesting there from Strauss. Yeah, only a personal best in sector 1, no improvements in sectors 2 and 3. Archie Heron right behind him, then Lennart Schnabel, you can see just in the background there. now we need to say hello and welcome along to Benjamin Van Hees, currently 6th overall right now. The Dutchman, new to the championship. Great to have him on board for the final round. Better late than never. Hey, Benjamin. But no, all in all, great to have him and seeing them as well. Right up there, yeah, not messing around. Holding a candle to Laritz as Zambra just pops in casually and goes fast as anyone. Nearly a tenth clear of Strauss, but just over a tenth and a half covering our top 4. This is marinating nicely, isn't it, into what could be potentially an absolute epic final race of the season for the victory.
Yeah, victory round here is everything. It means so much. It's kind of, I mean, the best version of, you could say, Monaco that we have on the iRacing service. As if we did have Monaco, then the thought of having Monaco in official races is kind of scary. I think you would agree with me on that, Tim. It's not a good thought.
What's more scary, rain or Monaco?
I think...
Actually, no, more scary
Monaco
would be... and the circuit's completely escaped the name of it, of course, in China.
Macau.
Thank you for saving me there. Thank you. I got, you know, you get a word in your head and just think, great, I got power in my head, and that's in France. Completely, it's a street circuit, but that's about it. I think Macau would be far more dangerous than what Monaco is, but yeah, get that in the wet. Oh dear, but there you go. Strauss went faster, and then Zambra said, no, pole is mine. And he moves up into provisional pole. He won't get another time in because we've got a minute left in qualifying. And it's a hard and fast shut in this qualifying. No overtime whatsoever. There's Young across the line. He goes third. So, Moore and Bergson, they're in the pits. Likewise, further down the field, Pocky Van Paradon. Surprising for me, seeing him struggle a little bit. Ran really well last time at Monza. Let's not forget the Portuguese driver. Strauss is going to get around and over the line just in time, although... not sure he's necessarily improving, or he's going to do enough. He's going to give it a good go here. Out of the final turn, he comes the run to the line. 2 tenths just over to make up. Is he going to do it? Let's find out as we wait for the times to update. And no, he goes slower than his best by 6 hundredths of a second, in fact. Schneider improves for Van Hees there.
Yeah, Schnabel seems to be on a decent lap, but it wasn't decent enough. He's right down the pecking order. And yeah, we're seeing a lot of pros struggling here. And this is the beauty of this circuit. It brings out different skill levels in everyone.
It does indeed. Your first race of this evening, the first race of 25 minutes. Sambra starts on pole. Strauss is in second. Then it's Young and Amore on row 2 with Bergson and Laritzen. Your 2 championship leaders in the Pro and the AM categories, respectively. They share row 3. Row 4 sees Archie Heron and Lennart Schnabel alongside one another. The top 10 and row 5 being run out by newcomer Benjamin Van Hees of Speedy Designs Racing and Tom Poggy. Kate Van Paradon starts on row 6 with Tom Minot. Chris Kirk has got top for company. Then it's Nick Polliard and Philip Russell. The last complete row of the grid. Row 8 with row 7 with row 8 all by himself. It's Tiziano Caponio of Scorex Esports. The only way is up for the Italian. Well, in a clear-cut race yesterday, Aaron. I said about the driver starting last. Well, is this going to be a last to first challenge? They were a pro as well. Are we going to see history repeat itself here on Apex Racing TV? Place your bets. Place your bets. Place your bets.
I mean, I don't know if I'd encourage gambling here on Apex Racing TV, but you might be able to make some money out of it. Maybe that's something Apex should consider in the future. Allow people to bet on these races. It might not be too bad of an idea, actually. I mean, maybe don't bet on these F4 races, considering what's happened this season. You know,
lottery is at times. But that's what's kept. The thing is, though, as much as it has been a lottery, it's what's kept it interesting and intense and so engaging for the entirety of the season, because you never know what's going to happen. Just waiting on K Van Paradon to take to the grid, and then we'll be off. As mentioned, first race of the evening, 25 minutes. Of course, keep an eye out, because it's going to have the top 8 are going to be inverted. the results to form the grid for race 2, but here come the lights, so let's get ready to go racing for the penultimate time this season as we are green and we are go here at Long Beach, and Zambra does not hang around. Him and Strauss get a cracking start, but they're all just mixing around, shuffling around to go 4 wide in the background there. That's not going to end well. It's going to end in tears if they don't sort themselves out into turn 1, and they just about do. Is anyone going to click the wall? Yeah, Larisson's in the wall. Oh, that's not good for the championship. Where is Minot? Is he caught up in it? As Larissa's lost his front wing and Minot's made it through. Well, that's flipped on its head and it's advantage Minot's. Oh, that's Sugar Round. That's Sugar Round. Oh, and that's Minot. That's Minot.
That's Minot.
And he's got broken front suspension. Oh, this is going to be interesting, isn't it?
This is absolutely huge.
Well,
I mean,
how much damage has Larissa got?
I think it's only a front wing for him.
No,
but I mean, Minot is done. That car is not going anywhere.
Oh, he's Romeo done. That's his race done and dusted. So, Tom Poggy leads Am. A big gap emerged already due to all the cacophony of chaos happening. So, where is Laritza? So he's down in 15th at the moment. Wow, this is on board with Laritza. Let's see exactly how this one panned out for him, Aaron.
Yeah, he was just... I thought... Like, I was keeping a very, very close eye on him into turn 1, and I just thought he was going way too aggressive, considering he's leading the championship. He doesn't need to. He started so much higher than any other AM. He just needed to take it easy, but did anything but, and has made his race a lot more difficult. But, you know, Minot then got himself some bad luck and crashed into Heron. It wasn't actually Young who was round. Heron's out of this race, but it gives the chance to Kirk and Philip Russell as well to get right into this AM championship. And well, the pros is still relatively the same, and yeah, this is what happened to Heron. Just lost it on that curb and crashed into Minot. And this is really, and when I say really, I mean really changed the championship of the AMs.
It's flipped on his head, hasn't it? Absolutely flipped on his head. As there's Nick Polliard making a move on, being overtaken by Caponio. He's at 5 places so far, so is Russell. Those two started in the penultimate and last place on the grid. Kvan Paradon, has disappeared.
Yeah, he just poof. And having some...
Well, he's got no front. He's got no front wing, and is he just going to pull it over? Yeah, he is. That's gutting the Portuguese driver. Looking like two. Actually, no, Minot is getting going again. Amazingly, he's not giving this one up whatsoever. This is turning out to be a real lorry. I mean, 3 minutes complete out of 25. Let's just talk you through the standings. We've had so much happen. Zambra leads from Strauss. Aiden Young hunting Strauss down. Only 3 tenths between those two right now. As you see Daniel Moore and Theodore Bergson scrapping things out. Apologies. It's not. I tell you what, he keeps seeing me with all the bumps here, all the clattering of suspension and the cars bottoming out, that whether having a bit of an incident on track or not. This is on board with Daniel Moore. He hunts down Young. There's Bergson and Schnee behind him. These two that are quite close. Then we've got Benjamin Van Hees on his debut in the championship. He's leading AM, in fact, with Kirk and Poggy second and third in class. In fact, swap those two around as Poggy, initially gets parts where he got the launch out the corner, and Kirk just sells into that second place in Class 8 overall. But here comes Poggy, and also Russell looking very racing, very aggressive. Moves left, moves right, trying to find the faster lane. Can't find it right now. And what is Russell going to do? Is he going to sit back? But that shallow line there from Poggy is what's cost him dearly.
Yeah, Poggy was taking some very weird and experimental lines through that last sector, gotta be honest. But now this is advantage Kirk and Russell. In this race, they just have to knuckle down and get as many points on the board as they can and hope that it's going to be enough in the long run to catch up to Laritson and Minot. And that's not normal at all.
No, that looks more like hardware failure.
Yeah, that looks anything but normal. But that's Nick Polliard out of this race. And you mentioned it that Minot got going again, and to be fair, that's a smart idea, because if he just stayed in the pits, he wouldn't score any points from this race. And I mean, from definitely not talking from personal experience, he could possibly lose a championship if he just gave up and parked it out of frustration.
This is the thing, isn't it? Because Laritza, although he's still running, amazingly, there he is on camera. Oh, that was a bit of a clatter into the fountain. That car does not seem happy after that. Well, trip into the wall. I do wonder if he's maybe got steering or maybe a bit of suspension damage because he's going very slowly. Although I say that, last time around 1:19.6. Our leader Zambra set fastest lap of the race with a 1:19.09. Just crossed the line again at 19.31, so he's not massively off pace. Is Laritza. However, he is only 1 place ahead, well, 2 places ahead of Minot. So this is still game on heading into race 2 later on this evening. There's Schnabel ahead of Bergson. Well, sorry, that's Young and Moore still scrapping away. We'll just see in the background in a second. Where Schnabel's got ahead of Bergson.
Bergson's had an issue.
He's hit the wall, hasn't he?
He's out. Oh, I mean, I know he's very, very far ahead.
Well,
but
that's
it's still
already happened there.
Yeah, he's just clipped it on a wall somewhere and has broken a drive shaft by the sounds of it.
Yeah, he's bouncing off a rev limiter and there's nothing happening whatsoever. I'm sure our producer Lewis will try and find exactly, a little bit earlier, exactly how he managed to do that. We saw him bouncing off the wall towards the tail end of that clip. But, wow, there we go. As if by magic. Oh, wow. It's a big impact.
Yeah, I think that's just what actually happened, just too deep into turn 1. And, yeah, Schnabel nowhere near, so I doubt this is contact. And I just think Bergson completely lost track of where he was. And, yeah, just way too much speed, too much... just didn't brake for turn 1 and slammed into the wall. And, I mean, yeah, like I said, he's very far ahead in the championship, but if he has a horrible feature race as well... You never know.
You don't. You never quite know, do you? And Zambro, what he needs to do is he needs to win race 1 and race 2, and then whatever happens, happens. And I know you'd be praying to the racing gods that, not being disrespectful to Theodore Bergerson, but something does happen major to the Sweetie that brings him right back into this. Although it is a massive, massive tall order for the Swiss driver. Looking at tall orders right now, these two have, well, due to their battling, have dropped back. Although Moore has caught right into the back of Young, hasn't he? Young, although qualified well in third, just seems to be struggling for a little bit of race pace and missing the apex there. Oh, that's practically the Tim Cox line through there.
Yeah, Young seems to be really struggling for pace at the moment, and I think Moore, as long as he can get a good exit around that final corner, but he didn't really. He just got a bit too deep into that final corner. And I think Schnabel's had an issue somewhere. Van Hess has got past him, and he's losing a huge chunk of time. Everyone is struggling around this track, and yeah, Moore is just too far back. And yeah, look at that. Big damage to Schnabel's car. And, I mean, he's not in the championship at all. He's hit the wall somewhere.
Yeah, front left is damaged.
Not sure where that was. I'm guessing final sector, because he only lost time in that last sector, so I'm guessing it was towards the end of the lap. So he's sort of lucky. But, yeah, Tim, we're seeing a huge chunk of mistakes. Only the top 4 are the only people that haven't really lost any time.
Are we about... Oh. There we go. Well, he's already hit the wall there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then it's, well, for good measure, a second time, but he's got no real control over that car with that amount of damage. Well, 9 minutes out of 25 complete, and wow, what a race it's been through so far. Last time around, Zambra did set a new fastest lap of the race at 19:07. He leads over Strauss Young, who's been heavily caught and harassed and harangued and badgered by Moore in 4th. Van Hees on his debut. He could win an arm here in race 1. What a debut. Well, I say that, and then Kirk just passes him, sadly. And I think he might have hit the wall.
Yeah, everyone is hitting the wall here. I think maybe just a mistake somewhere. His car looks to be fine from what I can see. So maybe just a bit of a sketchy moment somewhere. As we're going to take a little look at what happened. Maybe too deep on the brakes into this next corner is going to be my guess. And yeah, just way too deep. Got a little bit bumpy, hits reverse and lost a few places, but it's still going, crucially.
Well, he's still alive and anything can happen. But look who's in front of him from the back of the grid, up 11 places into 6th. Hello, Tizanio Caponio. Well, that was a turn up for the books.
Yeah, he just sort of appeared out of nowhere. He's kept sort of quiet and has kept it clean. And here's Lauritsen and Schnebel going toe-to-toe. This is going to be crucial for Lauritsen's AM Championship hopes. Is Schnebel going to fight this one too hard? Different classes. Oh, Lauritsen needs to be super careful and was a lot more cautious than he was on lap 1, but has lost a big chunk of time to Schnebel in front. And I don't know if those two are relatively similar on pace. I think they are, actually, as we saw Schnebel struggle during qualifying. But Lauritsen, he's touch and go right now. He needs to play his cards a little bit easier. He needs to remember that he's fighting for a championship and needs to remember how far Kirk is now in 5th place. He's down in 11th. I think at the end of this feature race, I don't know who's going to win this AM Championship. I really don't.
Minot, since he came out, is struggling for a little bit of pace in comparison to Lauritsen right now. Just looking at it, although both our laps have sort of slowed up a little bit, but even so, Lauritsen is slightly faster. However, only 4 places between them. Minot's still in the fight. It's going to be work cut out. I mean, coming into this first race of this evening, there was only 1 point separating himself and, of course, Lauritsen. It was advantage Lauritsen who was leading. However, it's still very much up for the grabs. And all it takes is 1 or 2 more people to drop out, or maybe, you know, come together. It can all flip on its head in an absolute instant. So Kirk leads AM. He's up into 5th overall with Chris Kirk. That's going to be his best result of the season so far. Overall. And, well, he's going to be absolutely ecstatic. Let's hope he can finish this one out to half race distance. In terms of Adam Van Hees, Russell now up into the podium in class. Great to see him up there. Let's just see Kirk. Well, Caponio all over the back of him. And I do wonder how much longer Caponio is going to sit behind Kirk. But if Kirk loses too much time, Russell, you can see him just in the background there, looming large.
Yeah, and now Kirk and Russell are truly in this championship. Is Kirk going to fight it? And actually, Caponio didn't really go that deep into turn 1, which you have to say he was a bit too far back to go for a move. But this AM Championship is constantly just changing all the time. And Lauritsen's gaining a few places now. He's right on the back of Toth. He might even gain a place on Schnebel. We've obviously got another 12 and a bit minutes to go. Anything can happen. We could have more crashes. I don't know. There's so many more opportunities in this race for so many other drivers. But this AM Championship is going to be where it's at, as that was a very, very good run for Caponio there. He's going to have the opportunity now, surely, to get past Kirk for 5th. And a very, very impressive race from Caponio so far. But do you know what? I don't think Kirk is going to be too disappointed about losing a few places. Because, remember, Tim, top 8 inverted for the feature race. And look where Kirk, Van Hess and Russell are. Oh!
Oh! That's Kirk around. That's Kirk around.
Well, I mean, he's in 8th, so he's still on pole for now. But he's got 20 seconds to Schnabel behind. But I don't know. I don't really know what happened through there. I sort of was looking away from him there. I don't know if it was contact with Van Hess. It kind of looked like it into the last corner as we come now down there. And yeah, it was. Van Hess just runs straight into the back of him. Kirk is not going to be too pleased with that.
Oh, talking of contact, that's soft with Poggy.
Yeah, around that. Don't know what they were doing. Very awkward. I don't know if they went side by side there.
Producer Lewis cuts them just in time to see them come together, but, well, bit of a strange one seeing those two going wheel to wheel, and it's nearly ending in a massive amount of tears for the pair of them. Here we go, let's find out. Oh, so Poggy is a country mile behind Toff, who's, well, missing every apex left, right and centre, and then tries to defend the position. Looks for the cutback and all, just doesn't see him.
What on? I mean, I might. Am I the only one confused at what Toth was doing there? I mean, I don't.
I think it's that if you leave your line, as someone who is rubbish on iRacing, I can vouch for this situation and bring some technical expertise into this one. If you miss your apex through there, you could end up in a whole world of pain and offline. And yeah, if you're struggling a bit for pace, it's a bit of a cruel mistress, is this track. And yeah, that's where he was at. And also, sometimes you spot it doesn't quite register if you're running something like the in-sim built-in spotter or even crew chief. As good as they are, they don't quite pick up that someone's always necessarily alongside you until it's too late. Then you open up the corner as Van Hees got I spun. I think he's got away with it. He's just spun. Looking at that.
Yeah, he's a extremely lucky boy. That's one of the corners where if you do spin, it's probably going to send you into a wall. But a little bit of contact with the wall there, but these F4 cars can handle it. Too much speed into there, and a tiny tap with the wall. He's, like I said, very, very lucky not to get any visual damage from what we can see. Maybe some tiny diffuser or rear wing damage and some suspension for hitting the wall the corner before. But there's a lot of mistakes coming out in this race. And like I said a few laps ago, only the top 4 realistically haven't made any mistakes. I mean, we've got, first, second, a second between those two, then 6 seconds to third, 7 to fourth, and then 31 to fifth. I mean, this is what Long Beach does to people. It's not an easy track, and I saw that one coming. Lauritsen just turned in way too early for that corner, but Schnebel still struggling for pace.
Well, they've both been caught by Archie Heron, who's now right behind him. There he is. See him right behind Lauritsen. And this is what I don't like about this circuit, or I get frightened by, is when you've got a driver who's tapping the wall in front of you and I lost a bit of rhythm. It's trying to make your way past in these single-seater cars with all these suspension elements exposed. It's what do? You need to, and unless you can absolutely hook it up and head down Seaside Way and get the move done, or even into turn 1, it's the only two safe opportunities, although there are other overtaking opportunities around here. We've seen it many a time, as you alluded to pretty much at the start of the show, Aaron. And well, that's Schnabel in the wall. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, just again going way too deep into these corners. I feel like some of these guys have not got their braking points down to a T. This is going to be touch and go. Schnebel tried to hang on to it, but couldn't. He's got front wing damage now, as you can see. That F4 car really, really struggling. And oh dear, that's going to be a bold move. Yeah, I saw that one coming. That was not smart from Heron. Schnebel had damage, and yeah, Schnebel's not very happy at all with that. He's got suspension damage, and Schnebel's had a horrid time round here. And Heron got to take the blame for that one. He just wasn't anywhere near Schnebel and dived down the inside of the last corner. And we're having plenty of incidents this race, and we're probably going to have more in the feature race.
This is the thing, isn't it? I spoke about this safe overtaking opportunities, drivers leaving their rhythm. Oh, and there's just that big gap, and the lockup and the late apex combo there for Schnabel just left that big door open. And well, Heron asked the question and found out the answer to be, well, contact and nothing short of it. So retirements. Well, we've lost Schnabel, I would assume, now from race 1. Nick Polliard, we lost him on lap 9. We're currently on lap 14. And Van Paradon all the way back on lap 3. Though Schnabel and Polliard are sat in the pit, so will they get going again? Actually, no, I think Schnabel has got out of the car for this race with, well, just under 6 minutes left on the clock here from Long Beach in race 1. As you mentioned, Aaron, top 8 are inverted. That's currently advantage. Chris Kirk, he will be starting pole. The AM driver, currently third. Oh no, Capone is in the wall. Oh.
Again, there. And do you know what? Crucially, that might let Lauritsen back into this. And that's huge.
That is huge.
That is, I mean, I was saying it just takes one mistake from a driver, and if Caponio comes into pit, which I mean he's got to, there's like 5 minutes left in this race, and he's got no rear wing, and I imagine suspension damage as well. That's putting Lauritsen. Yeah,
oh, there you go. He's the pits.
And now Lauritsen is in reverse grid pole.
Now, the only thing that could upset this Apple car is that Aaron has a lot of pace in comparison to Lauritsen, who, no disrespect to Lauritsen, he is no slouch. I think we can all agree on that one. There's a reason why he's leading, yeah, albeit by 1 point coming into the final round, that championship, Aaron. However, what's the gap now? 4 seconds. How much damage has Heron got to his car after that contact with Schnabel? So many questions. So many conundrums. I mean, up at front, we've hardly seen them all race on. They've just been nose to tail the whole month for quite a bit of it. But even so, Moore's just got past Young.
Young made a mistake. That's damage again. He's going to have to tow. That car is in no shape.
That's toast. Look at this. If he was a SpongeBob character, he would be Mr. Krabs from the Krusty Krabs restaurant.
Yeah,
that's crabbing like mad.
I mean, I'm really surprised at how many people have made mistakes this race. I really am, and he looks completely out of line through that corner. He just, I don't know, the car,
well,
and it just
now
didn't...
this is Lauritsen's saving grace, because Young is going to have to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's going to have to. I mean, yeah, he's got to. Yeah, there we go. He's fighting the car in. So he is into the pit now. This is going to play to Lauritsen's advantage, because Heron does catch Lauritsen. It doesn't matter. Because assuming that Young is going to drop outside that top 8.
I don't know, he will.
They do, but they do have that one fast repair. But the thing is, I know people are guilty of it. They don't have it ticked on. So when you stop, well, no, he has got it. He's switched on. Is Aiden Young, so he's going to come out in
close.
7th, maybe.
Ooh,
So okay, so that's advantage. Lauritsen, well, ish. No, Lauritsen's head.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, this is. I mean, you know, if this is a finale, if I've ever seen one, then this is it. Heron, I think, yeah, he definitely has damage after that contact with Schnabel. That he just hasn't had the pace that he had a few laps ago. And I don't think he was going to catch Lauritsen anyway, but now he does have the chance to overtake Young and put himself on reverse grid pole, which, I mean, you know, he's not fighting for the Pro Championship, but, you know, it just gives him a chance, like anybody else inside this top 8 would want. But Van Hess leading in AM then, with Russell surprisingly in 5th. I mean, it's been a field day for some of the AMs who've just kept it.
Oh, Russell's up 11. He, from the back, you know, from the penultimate position on the grid, Philip Russell took himself to Poggy. He's jumped to the pits.
I didn't actually see that. Well spotted, Tim.
I just called out the comment. I was like, I saw the time to reach. Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? Wow, no holiday on Seaside Way there for Tom Poggy, the Frenchman. It's straight into the wall. Well, that Russell for 2nd in class of 11 places. Great result for him. Kirk is going to round out the podium. Lauritsen now comfortably inside that top 10. Well, yeah.
Absolutely flown by.
It has, but we've still got another race to come. 5 minutes longer than what race 1 was. I mean, surely a lot of the drivers have got to learn from, you know, what's happened in this race. The track temperature definitely playing a part of things here today. 43 degrees Celsius. That is around about 108 Fahrenheit, if my maths is correct. Off the top of my head. Converted into Imperial, or as my American friends call them, Freedom units.
Oh no.
Yes. Well, I mean, Strauss looks so aggressive right now. He knows that time's running out. It's his last lap. Zambra's defending hard here as we head underneath all of the bridges. And look, I mean, you could not get any closer to that inside line. This is it. Zambra's putting a real stamp of authority on it. But here comes Strauss. And he's going to pull alongside, but it's not quite enough. And Zambra just coaxes him out wide to make him think twice. They make a bit of contact off the hairpin, but it's all amounts to nothing because Zambra's going to take the victory in race 1. Strauss is going to finish in second. Wow. And Moore's going to pick up the last of the podium places. There he comes.
Yeah, Moore has just kind of done what he needed to do in this race here. Wasn't too aggressive, just kept it on the track and came home with a podium as Young in front of him.
Yeah, all you had to do today was just survive. Likewise, Benjamin Van Hees on his debut in the championship. Well, takes victory, up 5 places, 4th overall as well to boot. Dutchman truly flying here at Lunge Beach. Russell, to mention, penultimate place on the grid, didn't matter. He climbed 11 places up into 5th. And Kirk's going to round out that podium in the AM category. And then Laritsen, wow. He really managed to just maintain that gap, didn't he, to Young? Who, despite utilising that fast repair, has had no pace since he came back out again. Young's going to take reverse Greek pole. Of course, the top 8 are inverted from the grid for race 2. But let's take you through some classified results here for race 1 of the evening. And, well, it's been absolute insane. We'll just wait for the last driver's cross the line, then we can bring that out for you. But this short little break we've got here, a bit of a mention to some of our sponsors. Apex Racing Academy was title sponsor for this series with their track setups, guides, you name it, coaching, the whole shooting match. They've got it, and at great prices too. And 2,500 people say so. Make sure you check them out if you want to go faster out on track. And also SDK Gaming. He slides it for all of our broadcasts here at Apex Racing TV, and so many people also do on the iRacing platform. It's not just that. Of course, we've got the Nürburgring 24-hour special event coming up soon with the most accurate live timing software on iRacing. It's enhanced relative boxes, mini maps, fuel calculators, all they're essential in the Enduros. Much more. Make sure you check them out. And also, you sync up your producers and your commentators so everyone sees exactly the same thing. Absolutely fantastic. And of course, the 14-day free trial as well. We can't forget about that. Make sure to check out SDK Gaming. Right here are your classified results. Zambra takes victory over Strauss and more. Then it's the top 4, in fact, in Benjamin Van Hees on his debut. Congratulations to him. Russell and Kirk round out the podium. There's 4th, 5th, and 6th respectively. Then it's Laritsen in 7th. Well, that's the 10th for books. I don't think any of us saw that. Aiden Young takes that reverse grid pole, starts from 8th. So he finishes 8th, so that will start from 1st. Archie Heron, he comes home in 9th. That damage really hurting him. That's tough. Minot, Bergson, Poggy, Caponio, then into retirement, Schnabel, Pollard, and Van Paradon.
Honestly, Tim, after that first race, I'm sent. I don't know who's going to win anymore. I don't know. I don't either. Honestly, I had my bets on Laritsen, but now I don't know. He has the advantage in track position, which is important.
He does. But
mistakes.
Can he keep it out of the wall?
That's the question that everyone wants to know, and we only have a few minutes to know. I honestly, this is going to sound bad. I've been more excited for this race than I have the entire F1 season this year. Just saying.
I'll second that. I'll second that one. It's certainly definitely more exciting and interesting than their most recent street circuits in the championship. No shame, because I always loved Baku. It's always great racing, but the last 2 seasons it's just turned out to be nothing but a damp squib, which is such a shame. Wow. 9 seconds left of the little warm-up session there between the 2 races. We look over the iconic fountain here. It's a Long Beach. And the roller coaster. It's all here. You gotta love this place. Set you free, you cleared. Aidan Young starts on pole. Laritza joining him on the front row. Row 2 is Kirk and Russell, the All-Amro. Benjamin Heath, winner on his debut in his first race in the championship. Then Moore next to him. Row 4 is Strauss and Zambra. Then we've got Heron and Toff running at the top 10 in row 5. Minot and Bergson in row 6. Row 7 is Poggy and Camponio. Schnabel and Polliard. Row 9. So row 8 and Van Paradon. All starts at the back all by himself. Just wait for everyone to take to the grid. Here we go. Deep breath for the final time this season. Who's going to take that victory? They're all on the grid. And here come the lights. Let's get ready to go racing for the final time this season here in the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship. And not the best start there from Van Hees. I think that was from the second row of the grid. No, it was Russell in fact, and he gets absolutely swamped. Left, right, centre. A bit of banging wheels there with, I think it was one of the TNT cars. I think it might have been a Moore, and they're going to try and make it forward into turn 1. That went in well, and there's a spinner, and well, everyone just about avoids them. A bit of further contact potentially. Heron, Strauss, Polliard all caught up in action, but it's all happening around. There's Van Hees and Zambra. Well, he's had a quirking start at 4 places already into 4th, and in fact, that's going to secure that 4th place for him over Benjamin Van Hees. He's struggling for a pace, he's struggling for a grip. I've just heard someone else, I think that might have been Toff in the background there. He's just lost a bit of time. But it's advantage in the AM Championship to SK Lorentzen because he leads the race halfway through lap 1.
I don't think I've ever heard someone describe a race start as a quacking race start, but there you go. Zambra had an absolutely incredible start. I think people are talking about people having damage in the voice chat. I wonder who that's further down, but yeah, Lauritsen's surely going to lose this place to Young, as Young is all over the back of him. But they have a nice clean gap to Kirk behind. This is the dream start for Lauritsen compared to the first race.
Minor all the way down in 10th is closest competitor. Got the words out in the end. There's merely my yokel accent coming out there of quacking. Well, it's cracking, but it sounded like quacking. Lauritsen having to defend. But Young, is he going to? He touches the wall. He only skims it. He'll get away with that one though. He loses the lead. Kirk's right behind him. He'll nip a place from him. Caponio's got past Poggy for 11th as well, further down through the field. Oh, I love that angle. You can really see just how close they get to the wall here at Long Beach. And, well, Aske Larissa just climbing the curbs. They're desperate to keep away from those walls. Could put pay to his race, but Strauss and Paradon and Toff all into the pits. Now heading out. And Stable's pushing so hard, isn't he? To the point of, I think he might even be literally pushing Van Hees there.
Yeah, Schnabel's got to make up for that race 1. He needs to get back to where he belongs, some people might like to add. But yeah, this is the absolutely mental start that we had. I think it was Strauss's teammate, actually, that hit him in the rear. Might have been.
Zambra.
It was Zambra, actually, yeah. Zambra who hit him in the rear. That's going to be controversial. And then...
further contact.
Yeah, that might have been... I think that was Heron who might have touched him.
I think it was Heron. I think that was Heron who touched him.
Well, what a start. It depends what you classify as a good start, but here's Heron's on board as he tries to avoid everything into turn 1 and just tries to take it safe. And yeah, can't really blame Heron for that. Just tried to take avoiding action, and yeah, it's a very, very awkward round here. Not much space to maneuver. Excuse me, and Zambra, like you said, has had an absolutely quacking start.
Sorry, it's my West Country accent coming out there. It slips out once in a while. It was in fact cracking. Zambra, well, I mean, at 4 places, cracking start, cracking. Make sure I definitely said that correctly. Or more clearly, should we say. All over the back of Kirk, third, who's third overall. Oh, come on, Kirk. We'd love an underdog story here, but Zambra, surely this is only when, not if, as he loses at the inside. Kirk pretty much facilitates the pass in the end. He wants to keep alive, finish up as high as he can, although more trying to sense the opportunity to once let Zambra to get away any more than he absolutely has to. Kirk runs it in deep. Bergson now wants to take a place from Kirk. That's Snable around, and that's Van Hees he's caught up with as well.
Yeah, Snable again involved in contact in this race. He's had an absolute horrid day. He's come back into the pits. I think Snable's probably had enough.
I think Van Paradon was caught up in it too.
Yeah, this is coming around the final corner, and no, I think he just hit all by himself. I don't think Van Paradon actually hit him.
But it was in fact. The car that was directly behind him was not Van Paradon. That was Van Hees.
I don't think...
I'm not sure whether he was going and then he had a bit of an assistant from Van Hees, or... Oh, he hit the wall on the inside with the right rear.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, just got way too close.
I thought it was contact, but it wasn't. It was car-to-car contact, but it wasn't, was it? You called it absolutely right, Aaron. Oh, so what's happened to Bergson? He's jumped to the pits. Well, as the song goes, another one bites the dust. This is all happening from Long Beach. Oh, this has got to be by himself, surely. I mean, he's at the back of this little train. Is this too much curb?
And understeer, dirty air.
Not enough curb. And, well, just a little bit wider and... missing the apex ever so slightly, not by much, and this said, just hurting him. As Zambra now under threat from Moore, who closes up and then backs out of it, toying. No, that's a big incident.
Lauritson's in the wall. That is huge again, and that's Zambra with damage. That's pretty
much. Where's Minot? Where is Minot? He's up into fifth.
Oh, that's huge.
This is into the pits. Now, there were only 4 places between them. The final... No, he's done it by himself, hasn't he, Lauritsen? Look! He's lost the rear, and then smacks the wall, and then here comes Zambra flying around the corner, bang, and takes with him for good measure. There's more! There's more! Oh,
no!
That's Russell involved!
No! I didn't see that bit.
Minot's in third. Look, that's damage there to Moore.
That's Moore.
Moore's got damage. And Minot's up into third overall. This is suddenly flipped on its head. And Lauritsen needs to get out of the pit, because otherwise this is the championship slipping away from it. It's all flipped on its head yet again here, Aaron. Oh, we did not expect this. We did not expect this. You said it takes something major, and it's happened.
I mean, nevertheless, I think that's Lauritsen's championship over. He's going to get a penalty for that, surely. That was a horrific rejoin. And rejoined straight into the path of Russell and co behind. And, that's Russell's championship hopes pretty much over as well.
But equally, there would have been yellow flags for... when Zambra and Moore came through, there probably wouldn't have been a yellow flag. Okay, they would have seen some smoke, but there could have been a lockup. You could maybe make some compensation for them. It was a racing incident, one of those things that happened. Please, Tom, why not keep it clean right now, because that's the only way you stand to win the championship, my friend. But that second one where he's trying to flip the car around again, I mean, he's on the race line. What does he do? Because... here's Minot, so he's going to arrive at the scene of the crime. Now, Russell was one of the cars that got caught up. And is it this shallower, more cautious line that... how lucky are you, Tom Minot? If you're a cat with 9 lives, that's 8.999 of them you have just used up there, my friend.
I knew Long Beach was going to be completely and utter chaos. I think we all knew that. But this amount of chaos?
And while this is going on, Aiden Young leads by 10 seconds, and we've only completed 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden's in a completely comfortable position to win this race. He can troll around.
You say that. All it takes is to put it in the wall by himself. We've seen a few drivers do that so far. In fact, we saw Young do it as well by himself in race 1.
I mean,
I'm just saying, and we won't know until this is over.
No, we really won't.
There's still more twists and turns to this plot line, Aaron. There's definitely is.
I need to quickly check something, because you say that Minot has a good chance to win this championship, but so does Kirk. Because remember, in Heat 1, he did very, very well compared to Minot. I don't know. Here's Russell having a horrid time to come back onto the track.
Yeah, I think doing the sensible thing there, Philip Russell just backed up, waited, lingered on the pit exit stroke runoff area. There was no one behind him. Let the whole field come through, and then went off from trying to rejoin into the middle of them. He's got Poggy for company behind him. He's incredibly close. Well, is this the even bigger twist to it all? That actually, we've been we've been concentrating on Minot and Laritzen, and in fact, we've forgotten about Kirk. We've discredited him, and actually, is it him who, by some absolute long shot, could pull this off here?
He does have the chance. I just did some calculations, and he is still behind Minot and Laritzen, I believe, in the championship, but not by much. Not by much at all. All it takes is a mistake from Minot, and only Minot, I think. Kirk might be within a chance. I don't know about drop scores being included as well. I'm not Jesus. I can't calculate those in my head, but just based off the points that they are on now, if Minot makes a mistake, Kirk might be leading. Might. I'm not sure. But this championship keeps changing. And also, again, I'm not 100% sure. Bergerson has had a horrible time, but I think he's still okay.
Yes. It would take a lot, I think, for him to... well, Zambra was closest to him, and of course Zambra, although he won race 1, he's down in 10th at the moment in race 2, so Laritzen, nearly into the back of Toff there for turn 1. That could have been another...
No, that's Minot in front of him, I think. He's a lap down, remember?
Yeah, it is. Well spotted.
And, I mean, maybe this is some tactical... game by Laritzen, as it's going to be touch and go between these two now for the championship. Is Laritzen going to try and pressure Minot? He has every right to. This is going to be very interesting. It has been this whole race. Laritzen has to be careful, because if he does make a mistake, because I think he will get a penalty for what he did earlier. Tim, I don't know. This is the most on edge I've ever been for a championship.
I've seen a lot. I have genuinely seen a lot due to the Ritz nearly into the back of Minot there. He did have that when Laritzen had that spin and collected a fair or few people. Obviously, Russell was just in front of Minot. Russell clattered Russell clattered Laritzen. Now, Minot did make contact with Russell as he came through. Has he got a bit of damage there that's making him a bit slow? I mean, having said that, Poggy is not getting away from him. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. It's keeping us guessing. We've only just over a third of the race distance as well.
Yeah, we've still got 27 minutes to go.
Not 27. Luckily, it's only 17. Thank goodness. I'm not sure my heart could take another 27 past this, but
my math skills.
Todd's had a bit of an issue out on track.
Honestly, we're only nearly halfway through the race, and I need to take a breather already. But yeah, this is tough again. Taking a very wide line through the penultimate corner. He's got Young behind him. Make sure there's no incidents for him. I think he was just letting Aiden through. So there's not too many places to let a lap car through around here. It's very, very touch and go. It's not very wide at all. As I'd say most of the grid have found out today. I mean, even though I don't think Aiden's pushing that much, he doesn't really need to. He's still pulling away from Kirk. Might not. Oh my word! That was.
I think just skimmed the wall there on the exit of turn 1.
That's not the first time he's done that today. He needs to be careful. Because I think... Where did mine not finish in Heat 1?
He was 10th, I believe. Hold on, bear with me one moment. I can just fully clarify that one 11th. For you.
I believe he was 11th. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think.
Tom might not finish. You're spot on. He was 11th.
Oh!
No! That's Nick Polliard with Cyrus Zambra.
Oh dear, that's yeah, I can hear Zambra understandably not being very happy at all in the game chat, and I think Polliard just had some kind of braking problem or just completely forgot to brake, and oh yeah, he just
he races for Team F4T, which basically basically spelled fart, and I think he had a bit of a brain fart there coming down into turn 1. That looks like an arcade drifting game, the way Zambra is just coming down the track. I mean, they do come drifting here as part of the Formula Drift series.
Yeah.
And, well, do you know what? So, if you can make this home, without hitting the wall, I'll take my hat off to you, son. I'll take my hat off to you, because that car, look at him, 90 degrees to the right, just try and get it into the straight line. Oh, dear.
Yeah, this is one of the most strange sights I've seen in my years of sim racing. I've never seen a car this badly bent and it's still be on the track. He's got to be careful of a young behind, and he lets him through. Oh dear! Oh,
clapped the wall on the way in and spun it.
Comedy.
Entertainment for definite. But hold on, so what have we got here? This is Kirk, Poggy, and Minot. Now Kirk has lost a whole chunk of time, I can tell you, because Kirk was about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of Poggy and Minot. They've now closed right into the back of him.
Tim.
Yeah.
What happened to Lauritsen? What? Why is he in the pits? Sorry? I'm sorry, we completely missed that. That's completely changed this championship on its head, and that means, oh my word, that's it. That's it. That's Lauritsen's championship over. He's already done 1 fast repair, that's it. Surely.
It's got to be, hasn't it? I mean, look, he's stumbling for where Polliard has got out again. So Capodio, Schnabel, and Van Paradon, they are full on out. They have retired. I can tell you that for definite. They have exited the sim. So, Lauritsen, the lowest he can finish is 14th. The place difference between the pair of them now, this way's advantage might not. However, might not could potentially climb a further 2 places, and a Poggy and Kirk is leading Am right now, who, well, as we spoke to him last time, where he nearly won it in category, just that bit of nerves, caught in, leading. He's got no one to follow either. Young is cleared off, he is checked out, he's 18 seconds clear of 2nd place.
Tim, man.
Strauss has just set fastest lap of the race last time around, 18.91. That's a great time. Now he is catching. He was 1.1 seconds quicker than this bunch. Now he's well too far back, I think, even by his standards. I mean, he might catch him towards the end of the race. Van Hees is the interesting one. Obviously, debut. Winning in class, 4th overall. Nick Polliard's had an issue somewhere. He's jumped to the pits, so that's just promoted Lauritsen a place. Well, Lauritsen still is in the pits, but yeah. So Polliard will finish ahead. It's weirdly put him behind Lauritsen, but in fact, actually, he's only 2 laps down, whereas Lauritsen is now 3 laps down. So, a slight anomaly there. As that is the move for second place. Poggy on Kirk. This might not follow through. No. Oh, this is traction. What do you do if your time might not here, Aaron? I think you've just got to sit there and pray. If they have an issue, they don't take you out with them.
I mean, I've just also done some more maths, as you know.
Go for it.
I believe.
Time for another points update. Here we go, Aaron.
I think that as long as Minot just stays where he is, he's going to be the AM champion. Just if he stays where he is, he can actually lose a few places, and he will stay. In the heat race, he lost 7 points to Lauritsen, which then means he's 8 points behind.
Yes.
And where Lauritsen is right now, he will be scoring, I believe, 14 points less than Minot. And I don't think Lauritsen's going to come back out, which means that Lauritsen won't even score any points in this race. Which, I mean, has just completely...
Well, if that's the case, that's going to completely and utterly sway it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Completely and utterly.
Oh dear, that's Kirk nearly into the wall.
I mean, this is the treacherous stuff, isn't it, for Minot? Because if he gets collected with them, then all of a sudden that throws it back advantage. Lauritsen, however, Minot does have a fast repair to his name. So he has got that up his sleeve. Treacherous times here for Tom Minot. I mean, he's on course. We were on course to have 2 M's on the podium overall. That's how crazy things have been. Poggy's cleared off, obviously, after Kirk had that slight wobble there. And might not manage to get past his fellow countrymen. Oh, Aaron. I can physically actually feel my heart going. Because I just don't know how. There's moments in real racing and sim racing, and you get to experience and enjoy the highs and the lows, the ebbs and the flows. As this is Nick Polliard with no front ring. Is he going to stick it in the bin?
He did. He stuck it in the bin. I mean, I'm honestly lost for words.
It is. It's been flipped on its head so many times. It's been advantage Minot. It's been advantage Lauritsen. I mean, that was just race 1. And then Lauritsen, starts on the front row. Minot's all the way back in 10th. You think, well, realistically, that looks like it. Lauritsen, if you just keep it clean, he wins the championship. And probably even at a bit of a canter that his books would show. Even though we knew, those of you watching, experiencing this with us live here on Apex Racing TV would definitely not know that's the case. By any stretch of the imagination, you'd know it'd come down right to the wire. I mean, if Young bins it and we end up with an all-AM podium, I will just lose my mind because, but equally in the same time, Aaron, that would just absolutely epitomise and explain everything we've seen here today from Long Beach.
Yeah, it's been unpredictable. It's been messy. I think all of these drivers I don't think anyone's realistically had a good day. It's kind of been up and down for everyone. I mean, even Young, who's leading right now, he had a horrid first race, finishing in 8th. But, yeah, everyone has had a pretty meh day of racing. I think the most consistent finishing driver, actually, is probably going to be Kirk, who finished in, I believe it was 5th last race. I think it was 5th.
6th it was last race, and he's on course at the moment for a 4th in race 2. Oh dear, this is Philip Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is another driver who could have been in it as well had he had a better race, but just hadn't had the luck and also made too many mistakes. Who is way down the pecking order in 11th place. But yeah, it's a shame that we don't have a good pro championship going on as well, because I mean, if we did, no pro pretty much has had a good race, as Bergeson's had a horrid time, but I think he'll still be fine. But that Pro Championship might not. I think it was him we were interviewing at Monza who said that he didn't think he had any chance of winning, and just hopes that he can have a good race at Long Beach and is probably going to come away as champion. But eat my words. I might have just jinxed him. But either way, this race, this season, has been something else to watch.
And the fact it came all the way down to the wire, so the final race. The final race of the final round. It's what you ask for and hope for as a commentator, and well, these drivers, they have fully delivered it. I mean, sadly, we've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds left of the season. Might not just needs to hold on. He's pulling away from Kirk at 3 seconds. I mean, does he back out of this? Does he want to be that close to Poggy? If Poggy makes a mistake, well, I mean, Larissa's 8 laps down. Okay, let's take a bit of stock here. Minot does have a fast repair. At worst, he's going to lose 2 laps. That's going to mean he's going to finish 11th, say, where Russell is. He won't finish any lower than 11th. Oh, no, hold on, he's going for it, and wow.
Well, there you go.
See that fold once again, because. Not content with it, he's going for the class win here. This is what he wants. Now he's got a great big open track in front of him. There's only 10 drivers left on track. It's been a war of attrition. And the Ritson's got out again to make sure he scores those points.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how long his damage was, that he was in there for 8 laps. And I don't know if he's going to overtake anyone. He might overtake Pollard. And maybe Zambra.
Yeah, but he won't overtake Russell. Now,
Oh.
this makes it all the more crucial for Minot that he does not just put it in the wall, does not make a mistake. He needs a flawless race. Like you say, give up places to Pocket, give up places to Kirk, even Van Hees, who's actually closing right in the back of Kirk. So we see Bergson and Sof scrambling for position here. Based on the torrid time that Toff has experienced here, the Hungarian has none of the best of times. I think we'll be glad to see the back of Long Beach. Bergson should make light work of him. That's not disrespectful to him. So there's Laritson ahead of Zambra, and we're showing Pollard, although that will sort itself out in a second. Technically it isn't, but he will make it past him anyway.
I will say as well, Minot, if he does finish in second, I mean, obviously, the higher up you finish, the more points you get. I mean, that's just a given.
Oh,
no.
That was brewing. That was brewing.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's the 2... Is that 2 TNT cars?
There's
Laritson. Oh.
Yeah, Laritson's just going to let them. But I think these guys are lapped anyway, so... Yeah, that's they need to be really careful. I think Toth is just being a bit silly, to be honest. Just being a bit over-aggressive from him, and probably
it is
should...
for position. It is for position, let's face it. There's still, as you said, there's still places and points up for grabs here. And it is defining what's happening to the championship. We're witnessing it here live, so I can't blame Toff for that whatsoever. I think, if you're in his shoes, ultimately, you're going to do the same thing. It's let's face it, it's so easy for us to be critical as neutral. Oh, they're locked up. Well, that confirms it, to be fair, that position. It's Bergson ahead of Toff, but you know what it's like when you're in the cockpit. Sometimes it's so hard to think logically and coolly and calmly, and you drive on instinct and emotion and passion so often. We've all been there, and you do rash things, and you look back at it afterwards. You think, "Why did I do that? What were you doing, you silly idiot?" Well, at least I do anyway. And it happens, but that's why we love it, and why it makes it so enthralling and interesting for us as third parties and viewers and fans to watch on these drivers who just put in scintillating forms, lift the highs, lift the lows with them, and come out the other side ultimately with a smile on our faces, and having the privilege to say that we are part of it.
Little bit of a speech from Tim there,
but yeah.
To be fair, I do agree with everything you're saying, and yeah, we have all been there. I mean, like I said, I alluded to it earlier. I've made stupid decisions that have cost me championships in the heat of the moment, and yeah,
I remember
it
you doing
happens.
that. You think as the commentator thought, "Aaron, what are you doing, my son? What are you doing?" But hey, we've all been there. I mean, what a debut as well for Van Hees. I mean, could well even. I mean, we're into the dying seconds. Where is Aiden Young? So he's going to cross the line. He's going to take the white flag. He's at the back end of the circuit right now. I mean, what a performance from him! 24 seconds clear. That's nearly a second per minute of the race that he has pulled out over the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely incredible performance from Aiden. And to be fair, we say incredible, but he just hasn't crashed. I mean, that's all it took.
He started at the front, started on pole, in fact, to be precise, and he said he just hasn't put a foot wrong. Oh, this is going to be tight, isn't it? These two scrapping it away for the last place on the podium in Kirk Van Hees. Who's going to take it, Aaron? Who is going to take it?
I'm going to say Van Hees. He's been very speedy today. Just made too few many mistakes. Here's Lauritsen again. His day is just getting worse and
Same
worse.
corner. This has been one of his nemesis corners. And we saw Russell make that mistake. Exactly the same carbon copy mistake, didn't we?
Yeah, and here we go. So. Here goes Benjamin on Kirk. I said it would happen, and Kirk gives it up. He doesn't really. He's kind of a smart move, that going side by side through the fountain.
I mean, ultimately for Chris Kirk, he's going to finish 5th overall. 5th, that's an astounding result. Let's forget about where it is in class. 5th overall is a great result, but there's 2 corners left of the season. For Aiden Young, he's going to take the final victory here from Long Beach and here in Season 2 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship. Congratulations to the American in his home race. Now we've got a long wait now until Minot gets across the line. That's how far clear, nearly 25 seconds in fact at the line was Young clear and Minot in second. Look at that, 2 AMs on the podium overall. Minot picks up 2nd place overall and the victory in class, and what we believe that is the championship as well. Poggy finishes 3rd. What a season.
Truly, it's incredible for Minot to have that comeback at the end. As I mean, after that Heat 1, we thought, no chance, but here's Bergeson as well taking, I was going to say victory, but he takes a championship in pros. And I think I'm just going to keep saying I believe because, none of it's confirmed, but wow, Tim, just wow. I don't know. Lauritsen was leading, Minot was leading, Kirk might have been leading at some point. God, what a race, what a season.
Bergeson desperately trying to find some room to get his donuts in and join in the fun there. Can't quite get him going. Go on, Fidos. Give it a boot full of welly. Go on, my son. That's what it's... Oh, go on. There we go. So let's take you through some class time results here from race 2. Aiden Young takes the last victory of the season up for grabs with a commanding performance. Minot, your winner. In 2nd overall, and with it, we believe the championship. Tom Poggy on the podium overall. 2 AMs on the podium overall. First time I've seen that here at Apex Racing TV. An astounding result in the war of attrition that was Long Beach. Benjamin, he's 3rd in class, 4th overall. What a debut for him. A win in class and 3rd in class on your debut. Look forward to seeing you again, Benjamin. Chris Kirk, in the end, has sort of 5th overall and 4th in class, even so astounding result. His best overall finish of the season. And then, amazingly, in pro, 6th and 7th, 2nd and 3rd in class. When was the last time you ever said that? I can't remember. Tommy Strauss and Daniel Moore pick up those places, with Archie Heron in 8th being the last car on the lead lap. Then Theodore Bergson 1 lap down, likewise was Toff to round out your top 10. And into retirement, Russell we lost on lap 16, Lauritsen lap 15, Zambra lap 11, Polliard lap 12, Caponeo, we lost him on lap 5, and then Schnabel and Van Paradon all the way back on lap 3. What a sorry time for K Van Paradon. on the opening lap in that race 1, and lap 3 was all he managed to survive. In a race 2, and well, let's have. I can see they've all descended on us, Aaron. Let's have a bit of a chat to some of the drivers. First off, let's take a chat with Aidan Young. Clinched the last victory of the season. You need to go back and watch just what unfurled behind you, Aidan, because I don't think you. Well, you must have had some idea that it must have been all kicking off due to the way you finished 25 seconds clear of the field in this race.
I was a little bit confused at what happened. I wasn't looking behind me. I was just focused on ahead of me. I was like, once I got out in front, I'm like, okay. I look back. That's where I'm gonna go. We're gonna look forward because that's where we want to go. We want to go to the front of this pack, try to lead as many laps as possible, and if I have the pace, end up winning the race. So I just looked forward as soon as I got out in front. Just kept pushing lap after lap, and then obviously I saw the 25-second gap, and I was like, wait, how'd that happen? So then at that point, I knew I could kind of take it just consistent, kind of from I don't want to say Sunday drive at that point, but I knew I could kind of relax off the pushing a bit, because I don't want to wreck the car. I have a big gap. There's no need to really push that hard. Now, if it were to have been maybe a 10-second gap and then I started slacking off, maybe by the end of the race it would have been a 1-second gap. That would have been a different story. But the gap was big enough for me to where I could just kind of back off a little bit and just kind of cruise to the finish, and then I just made sure to keep the car clean, be smooth, and that's what I did. We brought the car home safely and ended up finishing the race in first place.
Talk us through race 1. I mean, that was a very different affair and tale for yourself. In the end, managed to get yourself back up to 8th. Proved crucial, of course, in the end for race 2 because it gave you the reverse grid pole. But just talk us through race 1, Aidan.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about race 1. Obviously, I could have had a P3, and then I think because I actually had a fairly good start. Aske has, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he had a really good start. He had just a bit better start than me. I had a really good reaction time off the lights. He was just better at the overall start. But I think even with me finishing P3, even had I started a little further back on the grid, I still think I probably could have gotten up there. And then obviously I would have just had to done the same thing, avoid the carnage and get up there. But the reason I'm disappointed about my heat is because running P3, and then obviously as you saw, I just pushed a little bit too hard, lost the rear of the car, and went straight into the barrier by getting a little bit over ambitious on the gas pedal there.
Definitely, but even so, well, congratulations. We're going to try and get through as many people as possible. There's quite a few of them waiting, and well, we haven't got a massive amount of time. But well, congratulations. That's Aidan Young, your victor here in race 2. Aaron, who have you grabbed for a chat with?
You already know who I want to talk to. I've been talking about this man all day long, and you know, from Heat 1, it looked like it was all over, but then, I mean, after one of the most crazy feature races I've ever seen in my entire life, Tom Minot, I think you have just about gotten that championship.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I've got a piece of paper in front of me, and I was doing some maths across the 5 drivers, and myself, Garrett, Aske, Philip, and Chris. And after I got wrecked in by a car not holding their brakes in race 1, it wasn't looking particularly good and positive. But yeah, somehow managed to claw it back. I knew that this race would be about consistency and just getting to the end. So I think with that first race, especially when I came out of the pits and last, it was just to get my head down, keep lapping, because there will be people that end up in the pits and pick up whatever points I could, because I really didn't know how tight it would be. And yeah, it's all. I think of my maths. I think my maths says it's me winning, Chris, Kirk second, and I think Philip third. Which probably, I guess, will be officially confirmed later on. But it was just an awesome championship between, I'd say, the 5 of us: Garrett, Aske, Philip, Chris. It's been just a pleasure for the last 9 weeks to be racing with these guys. So it is a shame it's coming to an end, and I would say it was a bit of a disappointing last race in terms of driving standards and maybe spectacle. But I'm sure you guys were enjoying the chaos of the championship constantly changing hands.
Yeah, I mean, constantly throughout that, the whole of today, I think at one point it was advantage you, Laritson, and then Kirk. It was just all over the place. But I mean, I got to ask, how are you feeling? Like,
I'm feeling it. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I was frustrated, like I said, at the first race, and then I just got my head down. And I think you probably guys saw it in the second race. I let Pocky go because I actually realised that it's not about. It sounds bad, it's anti-racing, but it's not about individual wheel-to-wheel battles today. It was just about picking up points. So I let him go, and obviously thinking we'll catch up to Kirk. And then I thought, actually, do I even want to bloody pass Kirk? Because if we both clang wheels and I end up in the wall, then that's the championship gone. So it was always the intention just to kind of sit back. But Aske came out the pits, very gentleman-like, let us go, didn't put too much pressure on. Could have made his life difficult because he's definitely probably out the five of us. I'd say raw pace is the quickest of the lot. So he could have he's entitled to one lap himself and could have made that a little bit awkward, but fair play to him, he was very gentlemanly about it. So yeah, it was a case of holding my nerve. I will have a stiff drink after this, but it was it was good. It was and yeah, had some pace towards the end and got Poggy back, which is a nice little touch. Not really sure if he pulled over for me for the original pass or he just pulled over because he went slightly wide through the roundabout or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it was awesome championship. Really enjoyed it. It's a bit of a shame it's coming to an end because yeah, the AM championship's been brilliant actually, and going into today's race with a load of people, all with 5 people, all with the chance of winning it, is what you asked for, right? As a league, it's great.
Well, I mean, you must be absolutely buzzing, Tom. But yeah, we're going to try and rush through these. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank for the season?
So first of all, my wife for allowing me to pretend to be a racing driver because she's very patient. A guy called Chase Small, who was helping me spot in some of the earlier races, and Jen and Russ, who are my sponsors for the team, who bring me cheesecake when we watch the F1. So I'll be asking for a cheesecake for winning the league with their livery on my car. So yeah, those 3, and thank you very much, you guys, for hosting, presenting. It's been good fun, and especially all the drivers. It's been awesome. So
well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Tom, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Right, next up, let's take our pick. Let's go alphabetical. Let's pick up. Well, it could have been on the podium overall here today. Chris Kirk joins us, and thanks to Tom Minot's Fag Packet Maths, believes you've picked up second in the championship. I mean, coming into this, I don't think you expected that by any stretch of the imagination. We can see you, pushing and holding on, and well, you've been out for the absolute ringer today, haven't you?
I've got a massive headache. I won't lie. That was just awful in one way, but obviously I'm ecstatic in another. Absolutely fantastic. Congrats, I think, to Tom, based on his quick maths. If he has won the Class 2 championship, absolutely deserves it. Driven brilliantly all season, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great season for the Class 2 guys, as it were. And yeah, I just don't want to do Long Beach again, if I'm brutally honest about it. It's what it is.
I mean, just talk us through quickly, just race 1. I mean, well, again, that was a whole different sort of set of emotions for you compared to race 2, but I suppose equally it's just all about holding on in both of them.
Absolutely. It was all about just trying to be consistent, not push too much, because the second you pushed, you were in the barrier with this track. It was quite difficult. So race 1, I was just holding on, to be honest, really good position. Race 2, I must admit, I looked down and saw I was P2 at one point and did laugh. I won't lie, at the slight absurdity of the situation.
Yeah.
But from there on, it was just trying to do a consistent pace, hold on, not getting into any trouble, not fight too hard, and just bring it home.
Well, that you did indeed, and from what we've worked out, this is second in the championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is Chris Kirk. Aaron, who's you grabbed?
Bit of a difficult one, but do you know, I'm gonna go to Philip as well, who didn't have too bad of a day actually. We're gonna talk through all of the AMs. Philip, was a bit of a topsy-turvy day for you. Overall, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a great race 1. Obviously, I was picking up the pieces, starting from 16th. I didn't really have to worry about too much. And then obviously ended up, was it P6? Was it by the finish? obviously first in AM, which was it was a brilliant result overall. But obviously, yeah, had a really bad start in race 2. Got lots of wheel spin sandwiched between some, let's say, quite impatient drivers when it came to turn 1. I don't know how I survived not getting hit, but I ended up with like 8 instant points, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, I managed to keep going. But yeah, and then got caught up in Lauritsen's spin on turn 1 on lap 5, and I'm not too sure what he was up to, because I could see he took out 2 cars before me as well. So that was a shame. Obviously ruined that, and obviously I think I had the pace to maybe get an overall podium if it hadn't happened. But it is what it is, and it's one of these tracks where I guess if you make one mistake, you get called out. So.
Yeah, these things happen, but you had a fairly good championship overall, and I believe you got a top 3 in the championship. I think you might be 3rd or 4th. But, I mean, just as a whole, how you feel about this season?
It's a shame, obviously. I won the last AM championship in this Formula 4, which that went really well. This season, I just didn't have very much luck at all from my own mistakes and other people's mistakes. But I mean, well done to Tom. Obviously, I think he won the championship, so well done to him. Really, he's been very quick all season. And Lauritsen and Garros have been pretty quick as well. So yeah, it's been a tricky season because these guys have got so much pace. I can't complain, because like I said, I've been pretty up and down myself. So yeah, well done to those guys.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Philip, this season. Before you let you go, you want to thank anyone?
Yeah, well, this is going to be I'm going to have a bit of a break. I've got my twins coming along in about 6 weeks' time, so I want to thank you guys for all the championships I've been involved in. So Tim, Sam, and yourself, Aaron, for commentary, and obviously organisers of these championships. It's been amazing. Hopefully I'll be back. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you. Well done to the champions in this championship, and I guess most importantly, I've got to say thank you to my wife. I guess she's doing brilliant with her pregnancy and stuff like that. So I want to say thank you to her, and obviously bringing 2 more of the Russells into the family. So,
well, good luck to you two, and it's been a pleasure, Philip, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aaron. Cheers.
Well, if he can hear us, he's got himself on mute in the moment. So there we go. Excuse me, he's taking himself off mute just in time. 3rd overall, 2nd in class in race 2, Tom Poggy. Congratulations. C'est magnifique, I think would be a good way to describe it.
Thanks guys, thanks. It was, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, just talk us through quickly, race 2, the emotions that you were going through, and the way that you caught up onto the back of, everyone as well.
I knew before the race, some people going to crash. So my strategy, it was stay calm and gain the. Oh, sorry, my English is not so good. Stay calm, and you have the opportunity before in the race. When I saw everybody crash next to me, sorry. It was just like, oh, thanks guys. Now keep focus, keep the place, and we will see. And at the end, it's good for me.
Well, yes, definitely. Up 10 places. I mean, an incredible performance in race 2 and on the podium overall, let alone in class. A standing result. Although race 1, I mean, that wasn't quite that way. I mean, sort of when you started race 2, did you feel a bit negative or think, well, I've got nothing to lose here. Let's just go for it.
I was definitely angry because I don't set the good setup for the race 1. So I have so much difficulty in the race 1. I crashed at the end, so I lose some place too. So I don't expect something in the race 2. Just like I race because I pay for that, so I'm here. But yeah, at the start I didn't expect anything. I just think like I'm the last. I'm still the last at the end, and good night.
Well, it definitely worked out and came all together in the end. Congratulations, c'est bon. Well, it's Tom Poggy, 3rd overall and 2nd in class here in race 2. And Aaron, I think you've got Cyrus Amber lined up, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess I do. Wasn't expecting to talk to this man, but Zambra, I mean, it's been an absolutely crazy season, and I think tonight reflected probably how your season went. It went very well, and then it didn't. just talk us about your emotions in this race.
Yeah, that's completely true what you said. I mean, some races went so good and others just didn't. And yeah, I think I had the pace over the season. I mean, I didn't think I was too slow, but yeah, in the end, it's just, yeah, it's hard, man. But I'm really happy for Theodore because he's a good young man. I think he deserves it also. I'm happy for him. And yeah, I mean, Long Beach is a pretty hard track, so I thought it's gonna come like that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, I can tell. Yeah, it's not been a very good day. We've witnessed some questionable incidents throughout the race that weren't your fault at all. But I mean, if you were to fight for this championship again, do you think you'd take a different approach to it?
I mean, that's a good question. Probably, I will try to do more stuff with my teammate, with Tiziano or anyone else, because I mean the TNT guys, they worked so well together. You saw them at Monza. They gave each other a slipstream. I mean, Theodore had pole by what, like 1 second. That's just some good teamwork over there, and I think that's also a thing that would make me get more points. But yeah, maybe I should also practice a little bit more, or yeah.
Well, I mean, if I'd say you should keep your spirits good. I mean, you had some superb performances throughout the season, so going into possibly next season, just give it your all, and good luck for next time around.
Yeah, thank you. You're gonna see me maybe in endurance series. That's where I'm gonna race.
In LMP2, I spotted as well.
Yeah, LMP2.
Yeah, you get on one. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you get on that one. I know there's a few people with their eyes on yourself, so yeah, good luck for that one.
Thank you, Tim.
It's all right. Well, Aaron, what a season it has been. It's been, well, I think you just absolutely nailed it there. With Syra, there's been highs, lows, every emotion going. Some great moments, some bad moments for drivers, and well, we've come out the other end with a scintillating finish that went all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, this has been up there with one of the best seasons that Apex has probably had. In terms of entertainment, I'd definitely say. In terms of racing, we've had some really good races. We had a lot of side-by-side action throughout this season. But, yeah, Tim, I mean, it's been... Wow. Especially today. It's it just toys with your emotions, and I loved every second of it.
Likewise, I absolutely echo your sentiments there. You've absolutely nailed it once again. But wow, that's all we've got time for here at Apex Racing TV. What a season it's been. What the drama. It's had absolutely everything, and not just in little snippets, in absolute abundance. Massive fights, big drama, big twists and turns to the plot line. And that was even before we reached here. And it championship that came right down to the wire, and it flipped on its head and evolved constantly in the final race. Anyone could have had it, but, well, congratulations to Tom Minot for picking up that one. And, of course, Theodore Bergson on the Pro Championship. And, of course, TNT as well for the Team Championship. Well, for the last time this season. I've been Tim Cox with Lewis Ward and Aaron Smith. Thanks very much for joining us here at Apex Racing TV.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.